So this is what I would do if I had $10,000 to invest tomorrow. So there are a few different asset classes. So you have real estate, you have stocks, you have bonds, and over the long run, over the past few years, stocks is the best asset class. So number one, I would definitely pick stocks. Bonds are more for security if you're going into retirement. But if you're a normal working adult, if you're a normal teenager, then the best approach will be to invest in stocks. So next thing, so which country do you want to invest in? So over the past few years, historically, the best performing country has been the US because all the high quality companies are there. Your Google, your Meta, your Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, all these companies, they're all in the US. So if you want to pick a country that will outperform in the long run, outperform all your different other countries, then the US will be a safe bet. Next one. So what is the best sort of like stock to buy in the US? So if I just started out investing, I would instead buy something called an exchange traded fund, which is an ETF. So an ETF is basically a compilation of all the different companies into one single sort of like stock for you. So that's an ETF. And then as for the ETF that I would choose, it will be something called your CSPX. So what differs the CSPX from the normal S&P 500? So your S&P 500 or your SPY is situated in the US. So in the US, they have something called a dividend withholding tax, which is around 30%. So on all the dividends that is being paid to you from that ETF, they will charge 30% on it. So the US government will take 30% away from you. But for CSPX, the dividend withholding tax is only 15%, which means the cost that you're paying to the government over there is a lot lesser as compared to the US government, which is around 30%. So CSPX and the normal SPY, they are exactly the same thing, just that the CSPX is in the UK, the SPY is in the US, and your CSPX has a much lower expense ratio. So if I had the chance to sort of like invest $10,000, will I lump sum invest or will I wait for a dip in the stock market? So over the long run, timing actually becomes a lot less, basically less significant. Meaning to say, timing those dips in the long run wouldn't make any difference in your investment. So what I would do instead is I will just lump sum invest. So even though the markets are a bit overvalued now, if you're uninterested in the market and you still just want your money to work for you, then I would just lump sum invest, because historically, lump sum investing has always outperformed the other methods. So like dollar cost averaging, your dip buying, your lump sum investing has actually outperformed those two methods. So instead of waiting for the next dip, I would just lump sum invest, buy the S&P 500 through the CSPX, and then just leave it there and then let my money compound. And then in future months, what I will do is I will add a sustainable amount each month, which is maybe $200-300, and then continue allowing it to compound and compound and compound non-stop until I reach my retirement age. And then at that point, maybe you can take that money out, or you can do the 4% rule, which is to take out 4% every single year so that you can sustain your living habits.